Citi today, not buying all the hype, downgrading the stock to a sell from a neutral today. They see a limited impact from the partnership and say Intel's foundry business has minimal chances to succeed. Joining us now is the analyst behind that call, Chris Danley, senior semiconductor analyst at Citi Research. Chris, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
So you're totally not buying the hype. Why would NVIDIA get behind an Intel if they didn't think that Intel was, a solid company?
Yeah, great question. So obviously there's a lot of political pressure going on with various parts of the market right now. I think that has to be somewhat of a factor. But as far as NVIDIA goes, it's no skin off their back. So they gave Intel $5 billion. They're down to their last $67 billion in cash. I don't think that's a big deal. They already have some products called Grace that offer an ARM core. So now they're offering an Intel core with that. And then they're going to, sort of loan their graphics capabilities out to Intel to let Intel integrate the graphics in their own laptop chip. So for us, the $5 billion is no big deal. Intel is still behind AMD in terms of processors. And if you have a better graphics chip, it doesn't necessarily help the actual core processor. And then on the, sort of AI product offering, that might end up being, $500 million, $1 billion, maybe $2 billion at best to Intel. But that's years out. And Intel's a $53 billion company. So again, not enough to move the needle. And more importantly, we think this continues to keep Intel in this perpetually money-losing foundry business, which we think they should get out of. And if they did get out of that, i.e. making chips for other companies, we think that unlocks $1 to $2 in earnings power, and we're loving that. But this sounds like this is just going to keep them in this perpetual cycle of trying to make chips for other companies.
So you don't think that Intel could possibly give up the foundry business at this point because of this partnership with NVIDIA? Does that preclude them from that, or could that still be a path down the road? And is that the only way you'll get back to a neutral, at the very least, on Intel?
Yeah, great question. Well, obviously, if the stock goes down, I go back to neutral.
Right.
That's number one. Number two is I want to make two important sort of clarifications there. So Intel does foundry for their own processors, and we definitely think they should stick in that. They've managed to make a lot of progress there over the last 2 to 3 years, but it's this making chips for other companies, especially for leading edge. They've been trying to do this for 10, 20 years. They are no closer now than they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. They're still 2 to 3 years behind Taiwan Semi. They're losing billions of dollars in this. Yes, it's possible that they could do it, and we've outlined that. I mean, first of all, you probably want to hire 2 to 3 Michael Jordans from Taiwan Semi to come and teach you how to do the foundry business. Intel has not done that. They have a non-foundry person running the business, and the foundry business is almost antithetical to what made Intel great, right? What made Intel great was manufacturing their own chips. It's a single processor for Intel. It's not taking somebody else's recipe and making it yourself. So you just have to completely turn the company around, and we just think that's not their forte. So if this, keeps them in the business, and based on the feedback that I received, if you heard the conference call with Intel and NVIDIA yesterday, a third of the investor questions were on, is this going to be a foundry deal? Are you going to get a foundry deal? I mean, I hear it every day. I just think that they're still, kind of running down that rat hole.